Hello there. Ah yes, the Star Wars saga. An amazing tale of grand adventures that mirror World War II and 1. One of my favorite sci-fi universes and one of my favorite universes overall. Today, on Trilogy Time, we're gonna discuss the Star Wars prequel trilogy as voted on the Discord. I said, should we go by release order? So, the originals, prequels, and the sequels. But the people on the Discord server actually voted for chronological order. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6, and 7 through 9. But we will get to those eventually. So, right now, what are we gonna do? So, technically, this shouldn't be in Trilogy Time because it's a saga, not really a trilogy. It's over 10 films overall. No, it's actually more than that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rogue One, Clone Wars, Solo. My God, 13 or more. But yes, this is an exception because of the unique circumstances. The Star Wars saga was released in 333, so it can count, as they are essentially very different from each other, even though they pull elements from each other as well. So, let's begin with the first film. And by the way, I just recently rewatched the prequels because I had forgotten a lot about them. Because Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are the least films that I have watched, besides Solo, because I think I watched it like once or twice. I can't really remember. But overall, the Star Wars prequels, the source of many memes. Cheers for that. Alright, Phantom Menace. It took a very drastic turn from the originals as it's a prequel. So we get to see the age of the Republic before the Empire came, and we get to meet young Obi-Wan Kenobi, we meet R2-D2, and we meet many young characters for the first time, technically speaking. And the film, I used to think that it wasn't very entertaining in the past, and I still find Jar Jar as the most annoying aspect of the film. But it's not that bad once I rewatched it again. Sure, it has a lot of childish humor at parts, especially with Jar Jar, but it's not that bad. It's not as action-packed as the original 3, but it does have it's entertaining. I watched it and I wasn't bored at all. I watched it and I was hooked to the story. I wanted to see what was all happening, and I had a good time watching it. It was great. And if I have to say a favorite moment from the film, it was definitely the Duel of the Fates with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan fighting. It was one of the best sequences, and it's one of the best songs ever on the Star Wars music repertoire. Overall, the movie is quite a good introduction to the trilogy. It does have a lot of very noticeable CGI because, well, it was entering the stage of where almost every film was overusing CGI at that point. And yeah, that's a bit of a problem, but if you could handle the old-timing movies that had bad after effects or paintings, because we'll get to the original trilogy later, but the freaking Andor thing, that was a painting. It was very noticeable, and yet we don't care. But yeah, faults can be found on everything. But yeah, let's continue to Attack of the Clones. Now, it seems many people dislike Attack of the Clones, and I have to agree with some of these comments, because the Padme Anakin romance was a bit bad at times, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? And it's like, Padme, you're attracted to a genocidal maniac who just slaughtered an entire village of native people to Tatooine. Sure, yeah, sure, I'd marry him as well. Good God. But aside from the Anakin Padme stuff, the investigation of Obi-Wan was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And Tamora Morrison as Jango Fett, it was great to see. Mace Windu, awesome. And Master Yoda as well with his fight against Count Dooku was incredible as well. It's just that, like, the ending point from the middle, more or less, of the film, it was very enjoyable. I really liked Attack of the Clones. I was certainly very entertained with it, and especially that final battle. Oh boy, seeing that many Jedi in action, the clones deploying, and we have to appreciate that this film brought us to the Clone Wars, because without this film, without the prequels, I mean, they did say the Clone Wars back in the original A New Hope, but without the prequels, we would have never gotten these amazing clone characters like Captain Rex, Cody expanded upon. We would have top fives and all these amazing clones that have made us love the prequels even more. Without this film, Attack of the Clones, we would probably never got that. And the film does have its weak points as well as the Phantom Menace. But again, it's a more positive outlook looking at it than a certain trilogy we will discuss later. But overall, Attack of the Clones is a pretty solid film. I really enjoyed it. I wish we would have gotten more Obi-Wan, less Anakin Padme romance. But that's maybe me because I'm a Obi-Wan fan, but whatever. And now for one of the best Star Wars films ever. Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. My God, is this film amazing. I loved watching this. Like, the opening scene of them fighting over Coruscant, it was amazing. The battles of the clones on the pilots over the ships, it was crazy, and I really enjoyed watching it. It's one of my favorite sequences of all Star Wars, the battle over Coruscant. And right now, I have to say, one of the best moments of that film has to be Order 66. The downfall of the Jedi. It was something. It was hard to watch. It's hard to watch again because now you have a lot more context. We have humanized the clones. They're no longer just buggerheads that blast droids into dust. There are people inside of those helmets, people with feelings and emotions and individuals. Each clone, no matter if they look the same, they are very different from each other. We have seen so many great clones over the past years, thanks to the cartoon show of the Clone Wars. And now with the Bad Batch happening, we meet more and more clones that it makes us love the clones even more, like Captain Hauser. God, he's awesome. He's gotta be the most handsome clone ever. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, the downfall of the Jedi Order, Anakin turning to the dark side and becoming Darth Vader, the Death Star being constructed, and Luke and Leia being born. It was glorious. The end of an era and the beginning of what we saw first. The age of the Empire and the rise of the Rebellion. I love the prequels. They weren't well received back in the day, but now looking at them with a better outlook on them, I always liked them. I always liked Star Wars. I didn't really mind the whole prequel, sequel, prequel, original debate. I wasn't. I wasn't part of that. I was too young for that. But nowadays, thinking of it, it was Star Wars. Sure, it has some bad things in it, but it gave us so many good things. So many good things spawned from the prequels, especially the Clone Wars. God, those. And obviously, without the prequel shows, the Clone Wars, we would have never gotten the character of Ahsoka Tano. And thanks to Dave Filoni and his creative mind, creating his child Ahsoka, it was great. The trilogy of the prequels, it warms my heart when I think of it, because it reminds me of an era that when I watched the prequels, I always wanted to be a Jedi. And even in the Empire days that we saw Luke as a Jedi on the 5th and 6th film, I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a rebel pilot. I was always, I want to be a Jedi. And the prequels having so many great Jedis appearing, it brings a soft spot in my heart, which makes me love the prequels even more. So, final results, if the dog will stop barking. Now, for the ratings, the golden badge will obviously go to Revenge of the Sith. There's no questioning. The third film is the best of the entire trilogy. Now, it was really hard who was gonna be second and third place, because both Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, I enjoyed watching them. So it was really hard to choose between them. And since I'm a shill for action, I always like big fight scenes and explosions and all that. And yeah, I have to give the silver badge to Attack of the Clones. And of course the bronze badge will go to Phantom Menace, as not necessarily the worst of the trilogy. No, absolutely not. The prequel trilogy is very good. No matter if they have some rough spots on it, I really enjoyed these three films. They were part of my childhood. And despite all their shortcomings, they have more positives than negatives. And that is my final verdict. Phantom Menace is at the bottom, then Attack of the Clones, then Revenge of the Sith as the best film of the Star Wars prequel trilogy. This has been ABG with Trilogy Time. Thank you so much for watching, and next up it will be the Star Wars original trilogy. The heart and soul from where all began, where we meet our farmer boy on Tatooine. And then we will cover the Disney films, the sequel trilogy. Thank you guys for watching. This has been AG, and I will see you on the next one. May the Force be with you. Oh, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with your friends if you like it. Let me know what you think. Which one is your favorite of the Star Wars prequels? Catch you later!